Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee for February 2nd, 2023. I am Andrew Johnson, the committee chair, and at this time, I will ask the clerk to call the roll so we can verify a quorum for this meeting.
Councilmember Payne.
Present.
Wansley is absent. Ita.
Present.
Chugtai.
Present.
Vice Chair Koski.
Present.
Chair Johnson.
Present.
There are 5 members present.
Let the record reflect that we have a quorum. With that, the agenda for today's meeting is before us. There are 17 items on the consent agenda, which I will read for the record. The first is, on your printed copy, item number 3 is the Hennepin Avenue South Street Reconstruction Project Temporary Construction Easement Agreement. Item number 4 is the agreement with Metropolitan Council for construction of a temporary traffic signal. Then items 5 through 19 are all Special Service District Advisory Board appointments, and those are for 48th in Chicago, 50th in France, 54th in Lyndale, Bloomington and Lake, Central Avenue, Chicago Lake, Dinkytown, East Lake Street, East Street, Linden Hills, Lowry Hills, Lyndale Lake, Stadium Village, Uptown, and West Broadway. I will see if any of my colleagues have any questions or comments on any of these items. Councilmember Payne.
Thank you, Chair. I was just curious if, I'm not sure if there's an answer to this question, but just an observation about how many residency requirement waivers there are for this. And I think it makes sense in this situation because so many of these appointments are for business owners that likely have a business on one of those commercial corridors but don't live in the city. But I'm wondering, with all of our reforms around boards and commissions, is the residency requirement something that we need to have a deeper look at? Just something I'm just curious about and just wanting to put into this space.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Payne. Duly noted. I don't know if anyone wants to respond from Public Works, but I think that's something we could offline have some conversation about or look at. So thank you. Any other comments or questions from my colleagues? Not seeing any, then all those in favor of those items, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, and the motion carries. Next, we'll move on to our 2 public hearings today. The first one is consideration of the Upper Harbor Terminal Public Infrastructure Street Reconstruction Project. Director Anderson Keller, who will be presenting on this item today?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. Today on the Upper Harbor Terminal Public Infrastructure hearing, Michael Ritchie, Principal Engineer, Transportation Engineering and Design, will be presenting.
Excellent. Welcome, Mr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Director Anderson Keller. Thank you, Chair Johnson and committee members. My name is Michael Ritchie. I'm a professional engineer with the Transportation Engineering and Design Division of Public Works. And I'll be the construction engineer, one of the construction engineers for this project. Today I'm here presenting the public hearing of the Upper Harbor and Upper and Lower Dowling Avenue Reconstruction City Project 2294 CPV 122. The proposed project consists of reconstruction Dowling Avenue north between Lyndale Avenue and West River Road, 33rd Avenue North between 2nd Street and the Mississippi River, and construction of the first phase of West River Road North. Elements of proposed construction include full removal of the existing roadway, new ADA compliant pedestrian ramps, sidewalks, bike trail, pavement, curb and gutter, new planted boulevards, streetlights, signage, and utility improvements. The total cost of the project is approximately $26 million. The total street reconstruction assessment is $2,353,837.99. This is based on the 2024 Uniform Assessment Rates in the Influence Area Method. These assessments are payable over a 20-year period. The rest of the city funding sources are net debt bonds, municipal state aid, transfer from PV 075, Hennepin County funds, CPED funds, and other Minnesota agencies. City staff has conducted numerous outreach activities throughout the planning and design of the project. Today, Public Works is asking the City Council to pass resolutions ordering the work to proceed, adopting the special assessments, authorizing sale of the assessment bonds, and authorizing abandonment and removal of areaways in conflict with the project. That concludes my presentation. I stand by for any questions.
All right, thank you for the presentation. I am going to proceed to open the public hearing and ask the clerk if anyone has signed up to speak. Not seeing anyone signed up to speak. I'll see if anyone here who hasn't signed up wishes to speak. Anyone? 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 All right, I'm not seeing anyone, so I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. See if there are any questions from council members. Councilmember Payne.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I feel like this is a basic question that I should know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it anyway. For these assessments, over a 20-year period, is there interest that's a component to those assessments, or is it a flat spreading it out over 20 years?
Excellent. Director Anderson Keller.
Mr. Chair and Councilmember Payne, I'm going to have Jeff Handelin come up and answer that question. He's actually worked on the assessments for this project, but also works on other assessments as well.
Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm Jeff Handeland, a principal professional engineer in the Transportation Engineering Design Division of Public Works. Yes, these reconstruction assessments, like all reconstruction assessments in the city, are spread over a 20-year term unless the property owner follows the instructions on the assessment notice and contacts my staff to prepay. And yes, so unless they prepay, then interest is included in those payments that show up on their property tax statements over the following 20 years at the rate determined by the Minneapolis Finance Department.
Could I ask a follow-up question?
Please.
What would be like the types of criteria that would be defining the rate that Finance Department determines? Is it the kind of the interest rates broadly that the Fed is setting, or maybe some more sophisticated calculation? That's not an easy answer.
Thank you. Yes, Councilmember Payne, Chair Johnson. Yes, that I can't remember offhand the details about what rate the Finance Department looks at in their criteria when they set that rate, but I could follow up on that and get that answer to you.
Okay, thank you. Nothing urgent, just more of a curiosity.
Thank you. And if memory serves me correct, and I do think it's important for finance to follow up, but I believe it is also tied to the issuance of bonds for the project and the rates that ultimately we have to relay on those. So, all right. Councilmember Vita.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Not a question, but just I want to thank everyone. This is super exciting for Ward 4. Finally, we're going to see some action associated with the Upper Harbor Terminal. It's a road and some bike lanes, but it's exciting. And so I just want to thank Public Works staff for all the work that they're doing on this project. And we're looking forward to, having these amenities in Ward 4. So keep the good work up. Thank you all.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any additional comments or questions on this item? If not, I'll go ahead and move it. And all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and that'll move on to full council next week for final action. And finally, we have consideration of the Osseo Road Street Reconstruction Project. This is our second public hearing today. Director, who will be presenting?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. Beverly Warmka is going to present. She is a professional engineer in TED as well.
Welcome, Ms. Warmka.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Beverly Warmka, and I am a project engineer with the Transportation Engineering and Design Division of Public Works. Today, I'm here presenting for the public hearing for the Osseo Road Reconstruction Project, City Project 6780 CPV 074. This proposed is a county-led project and consists of reconstructing Osseo Road between 49th Avenue North and Penn Avenue North. Elements to be included in this project include full removal of the existing roadway, new bicycle and pedestrian facilities, new pavement, new curb and gutter, utility improvements, and the project will also include new signage and pavement markings. The total cost of the project is approximately $14.4 million, and the total street reconstruction assessment is $989,899.71. And this is based on the 2023 Uniform Assessment Rate and the influence zone area method. And the rates are $2.75 for non-residential properties and 91 cents for residential properties, and these assessments are paid over a 20-year period. The rest of the city funding sources for this project are about $3 million in net debt bonds and MSA dollars. City and county staff have conducted numerous outreach activities throughout the planning and design of this project, and a virtual pre-assessment meeting was held last week to discuss the planned improvement and answer any questions related to the assessments. We had one person attending this meeting out of about 50 mailings. And today, Public Works is asking the City Council to pass resolutions ordering the work to proceed, adopting special assessments, authorizing sale of the assessment bonds, and authorizing abandonment, removal, and of areaways in conflict with the project. And this concludes my presentation, and I will stand by if you have any questions.
All right, thank you for the presentation. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing and ask the clerk if anyone signed up to speak. Seeing that no one signed up, I'll ask if anyone wishes to speak who hasn't signed up. All right, please come right over here and approach the microphone, and you'll have 2 minutes. And then afterwards, I would ask you to see our clerk just to make sure you
Right.
sign in.
Okay.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Dawn, and I live right on Osseo Road. My concern is, one, you just said that the assessment is 91 cents per person. Is that what I heard you say? I think that's what I heard over a 20-year period, and that is not totaling up for me. The assessment to my property is extremely high compared to what I'm being offered for my property that they're taking. And the work needs to be done. The street is terrible. It's been terrible for a long time. I know it needs to be done. It's just this assessment portion of it is very worrying to me because this is a lot of money for somebody that can't afford it. I guess that's all I really wanted to say. I don't know a lot about this process, but I wanted to be here today just so I could hear what was happening and give my concerns.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Anyone else wishes to speak? Anyone else? Not seeing any, so I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And then note there were some concerns around the assessment, so I don't know if staff would be able to connect up then with one of our speakers today, or if there is any additional information you wish to share with the committee that might make sense. But certainly, especially when we have members of the public here, that would be great to connect up and have that conversation. So sounds like you'll connect up then. All right, perfect. Any comments or questions from colleagues? Councilmember Vita.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. I just had a question about which properties get assessed. So like looking at this map that's up, will the properties on Xerxes Avenue near Ryan Lake, do they get assessments for this, the Osseo Road changes? I actually just got this question today.
Mr. Hanlon.
Thank you, Councilmember Vita, Chair Johnson, Jeff Handeland with Public Works again. I could give a general answer to that question and take a look at the influence area map for this project later and give you specifics. So the City of Minneapolis assesses based on a uniform assessment rate and influence area method, where it's easier to explain with graphics that we have on our website, but we draw angles that bisect the intersections and then of the streets that are being improved. And so property area that's within the resulting triangles and parallelograms that of those influence areas are included in the assessment. That way, it's Minneapolis's method of being fair to different property configurations such as corner properties. So it does tend to, the influence area does tend to reach back a few lots depending on the size of the lot, and can include some assessments to some side streets.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, council member. Any other comments or questions from colleagues? Councilmember Payne, is that from before? Or, okay, yeah, all right. Any other comments or questions? Not seeing any, so I'll go ahead and move approval of this item today. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and that will move on to next week's council meeting for final action. And then with that, we have concluded all business to come before the committee. However, I think we have maybe a little brief announcement from the director, so I'm going to turn over to her.
So, Mr. Chair, first I'll say that I'll have an update for all of the council members tomorrow on our plan for next week as we have some warming temperatures and hope to really go on the offense on tackling the ice situation. I also want to thank all residents for abiding by the one-sided parking. We know that that is a burden for people, but thanking people who are moving their vehicles and abiding by the parking. It is Groundhog's Day, though, and so we thought in Public Works we would just check. You know, we heard out of Pennsylvania that Puxatawny Phil maybe saw his shadow, and so we put Director Powman out this morning, and I have to report he did see his shadow. And so we are going to have at least 6 more weeks of winter. We hope it's not 12, though.
All right, well, disappointing news, but we also understand and appreciate the transparency, so thank you. Well, without objection, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Don.